Shalom everyone! Okay, today is September 20th and I'm out here at the table. I've been out here off and on this morning. It was kind of cloudy this morning, so we had hit and miss, but we were able to get a good line. When I first came out here, I thought it was tracking with yesterday, but once I started seeing how it's tracking today, we're this purplish pink color. Hard to see with the light. But anyway, so we were orange yesterday, purplish pink today, and actually what we're seeing is it's slightly above. Now I'm midday here. Let's see if I can get down here to my little micro midday. So this again was the mark for the spring equinox. And here is today. So for the last couple days, what you see how it fans here at the end, this tells us that it's still moving up on the corners. On the edges of our light is still moving up. So as it fans and then it comes together real tight in a little tight formation at midday, because this is where it's already flattened out, and then it fans out again towards the end of the night. So the last couple days, the two lines have tracked together. Not in the morning. They still was quite a space from yesterday and the day before. From orange to purple here was, there's, you see a gap there, and that was just a day's difference. But when you get to the middle, they all conglomerated together because they were all flattening out. So this is how we know that the line is still raising. Is you have to compare the next day, the previous day's lines, marks, so you can see the movement, because when they get all up in here during the midday, they all align and then they spread back out again. So that's what's happened the last couple days, is they were all together. But now today, it is just slightly, you can see, here's the shadow. It's moved off of midday. It's just a little past midday now. And you can see how the shadow is just above yesterday's little orange mark. So it's definitely up above that. Here's my midday little purplish pink mark. So this is moving up. It's looking pretty straight. So we'll just have to compare it to tomorrow's marks and see how it looks. But this is where we are. It has moved up a little bit on the plane towards the center there. Whether it'll make this mark or not, I'm not sure about that, but at least it gives us kind of something to know where we were in the spring. So, but this is where we are right now, between yesterday's mark and the spring mark, and we have raised up a little bit. You can see how close it was this morning, but it's not down in that line like yesterday and the day before. It's just riding above it. You can see it clearly in that shadow right there, how it's above the orange mark from yesterday. So it's still moving, and it will. It will continue to move that direction as we head towards the winter solstice. But how flat is that today? And so this is where we are midday. Yesterday was way too windy. You can barely hear the wind chimes today, but yesterday was way too windy to have the rings up. So I got them set, and I took some pictures right at midday of the distance here to see if it's going to close up. I have this set and angled at my latitude, and so we're going to just measure that and keep an eye on it next couple days, see if it disappears on the equinox. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm wondering. And so this one is set the same. We have it all angled, and this is what its shadows look like at this point. So Shabbat Shalom everyone. So today's Monday, September 21st. I didn't finish making my video yesterday. I did one at midday, so I'm going to tack this one on to yesterday's midday. I did come out and mark the table yesterday, but I didn't get anything recorded. It was prep day and I was busy. So let me just kind of give you an idea what's going on here. Yesterday we were, the kind of the pinkish purple color. And if we align our straight line with our first pinkish purple color and our last pinkish purple color, the pink disappears along here. So that's telling us that this line from here to here was still curved. It was not straight. Now today we are this blue, or this bright blue. And you can see yesterday was just above the day before. The day before, so yesterday was the 20th, the 19th and the 18th ran pretty close together. And then yesterday, the 20th, it came up above the mainstream line that the midday had been running. So it popped up yesterday and moved a little bit towards this spring equinox mark. Now today we're this blue, and we are right there on that spring equinox. Now I don't have enough lines yet to see if this is straight, but it looks like I might be losing it right there. So it may still not be straight. I don't know. I mean, it's still lining up. So we'll have to wait and see how the end of the day looks. I'll mark it throughout the day. We'll see how we end up first. Also over here, our little ring experiment. Doesn't look like the shadows changed at all on that one. It's still measuring the same. It's not shrunk up. And this, I don't know. I thought the shadows were supposed to disappear at midday if you have an angled ring, but I don't see that happening. Our armillary, we're not really using our armillary right now because it's not really level in the way of being able to read it from north to south, but from east to west we can still read the east to west line, and we can still see a slight curve in our east to west line. It's not straight across there. So that tells us the light is still slightly curved. So we can still get that reading off the armillary today, the east to west, to see if our east to west light is tracking due east, from east to west. And it does not look like it today. It looks like there's still a slight bend. So I'll look at those shadows this evening as the arm starts to shadow in and see how bent that light is this evening. So that's where we are today, September 21st, midday here. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm out here just waiting for the sun to clear my house. It's quite interesting. My husband pointed out, he's noticed that when the shadows go over the house, it covers up these stones, and then as it's going across the sky and heading towards that rim, it will start to come back up. So the shadow goes down and then back up the steps. Boy, doesn't that sound familiar. The shadow moves down the steps and back up the steps. So that's what I'm waiting for, getting the last few rays of sunlight to mark off our table. But this is what we have seen today. I've got the straight line out because it is so close. But when you line up the blue starting point, we're bright blue today, and the end point, the blue disappears. It's gone. So that means that these end points are still a teeny bit lower than the center. There's no blue showing anywhere except here and here. Here in the middle, see where the blue is, right? I mean, it's up on top, so you would think that it would be straight. I mean, it looks straight if I just was to look at it with my naked eye, but when you put it down, you still see the blues here and the blues here, but not there in on the top there. And you look right here, and here is our midday point. The bright blue is what we were today. This bright blue here. And this was our spring equinox point here, this black dot here. So, I mean, it's really close. The shadow itself was just covering it. So, we're right at that point. But I just do not, I cannot conclude that it was today. There's just still play in the line there at the end of the day. So I'm waiting for the sun to keep coming up my steps here so I can have the tail end of the sunlight before I lose it over that rim, and we'll take a look. But my husband will be here tomorrow marking the table. Tomorrow is supposed to be the equinox day, and we'll have something to compare our blue line with tomorrow. So no conclusions until we have some solid evidence, but that's what we've got there. Is see, when you line up the blue, when I line up the blue here at the end of the day here, and then I come up here where my first mark was, even though the blue is all you can see here and all you can see here, you can see it was all the other colors are still in that fray there. So still moving, still going straight. It's getting so close, but it's just, I don't believe it's there yet. So until tomorrow evening, I just want to wish you all Shabbat Shalom.